Okay, today we're going to talk about doing our grid enlargement of our animal. And first thing we need to do is look at the animal that we're going to enlarge. And this one has 4 squares by 5 squares. And this is already worked out for you. What you need to do is create your grid, the enlarged grid, on your large sheet of paper. And so we need to measure first across, put it in the orientation of the direction of the animal, which would be the 4 across the short side and the 5 across the long side. And if you measure that out, you've got 12 inches, 12 inches across the top, and then you have 18 inches across the long side. So if we take 12 inches divided by 4 equals 3 inches. 4 squares times 3 inches will equal 12 inches. So we need to use that same 3 inches to go our long dimension. So we take the 3 inches times 5, because we're having 5 squares, equals 15 inches. And we measured that, and it's 18, so 18 minus 15 means we're going to have 3 inches left over, and that's just fine. So we start measuring in the corner. We're going to align, you've got a clear ruler. We're going to align that edge right here, not the edge of the ruler, but the edge of the measurement on there. We're going to put our ruler slightly inside, and every 3 inches we're going to make a mark. Very straight, as straight as we can. Doesn't need to be very long. So I've got 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to do the same 3 inches going this way. And we know the total we need is 15. So I can stop at 15. And I knew I would have extra remaining. So I'm going to go to that same corner. Always start at the same end to measure down. Again, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I need to connect this side. When I measure and draw my line, I have my ruler right on the edge. Here and here, where those lines are. I'm pressing down hard with my hand, and my pencil is just going to drag across. Now I'm drawing it dark so that you can see it. But you really just need to drag it where it's just very, very minimally visible. Align those lines there, and then drag it across. I'm going to do the same thing going the other direction. But I need to make that measurement first to have both lines at the end need to have your measurement so you have something to line up with. So I'm going to line up here and then down here. Press down hard to hold it where it doesn't move and drag it across. I will have examples hanging in the room as to how dark it needs to be. Whoops. If it slips, just realign it. Press harder. And maybe slow down a little bit. Press down. Run your line. Now I've got my 3 by 3 grid. And I'm ready to now look at my image. Okay, when we're doing a photograph, and we're just trying to make a contour line drawing, we're going to trace what lines we want to transfer or enlarge onto our other grid. So I'm just going to do the outline. Of the image. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to figure out what the important other lines that I need to make my contour line drawing. Now this is going to be the only lines that you really transfer. That's the only ones that you're going to be tracking. I'm going to do the eyes. I'm going to do the nostrils. those edges there. I have part of his mouth I can see. I could do the spots, and that would be up to you whether you do the spots. Remember, you're going to be putting a pattern on this. So that's where I am, and I need to now look at my grid, put it in the same orientation. Now this extra space up here, you can label it A, B, C, D, and the same thing on your image. That's going to keep your columns straight. Now you're going to need to count. You're not going to have space to write those numbers, but if I go to B, and I go to my first area here, I'm going to go, that one's about halfway where the intersection lines, I'm going to put those points on there. Halfway here would be in the middle. If I kind of just put me a little dot there for a reference. I'm not all the way up there. I'm going to about right there. So I'm going to trace what I need, and I've done the first one. Okay, then I'm going to go on to B2. I know that it intersects over here at this point, and I know that it intersects on this line, almost in the midpoint of this section here. So I'm row 2, AB, my AB section. It comes down to about right here. Got me some points to go to, so I'm going to just now look and draw. Come down, goes pretty much straight up. I get a little bit past halfway, and it starts to go out. Then on the other side, it comes down and then starts to angle over. And I'm going to go square by square and complete my image. Okay, now got him transferred. I've gone square by square. Now at this point, what I would suggest is that you make sure you've got your name on here. You go to the light box, flip it over. I don't know how this is going to read on my video. And now I'm going to trace it, and I'm going to paint on this side because this is my clean side. Once you've got it drawn out, then we will divide it up.